Hello again, Gills fans, and welcome back to another episode of Gills in the Blood TV. Before I go anywhere, this hand will be staying on this shoulder throughout the episode, unfortunately. Hot water bottle. The joys of still trying to play football at the age of 35 in Sunday League on pitches that resemble farmyards. Anyway, this morning we are going to be talking about this coming up on your screen now. As you're all probably aware, and as the graphic explained, the Gills have now won 4 on the bounce for the first time since 2015-16 in the league, which is great to see. 12 points out of 12 in 2018. Into the top half last week, now into the top 10. And that home form that people kept talking about is still improving. That is now 2 on the bounce at home, and that is 11 points from the last 15. Going back to just before Christmas, and in that time we've scored 11 goals and only conceded 6, yet 3 wins, 2 draws, 11 points from 15, cannot be sniffed at any level, and it was a performance that Steve Lovell described as the best home performance he's seen since he's taken over. There you go, as you've just read on that picture that's just come up on your screen. And as I've already mentioned, the best display under Steve Lovell, according to the man himself. And I don't think many people can disagree with that, to be honest. After reacting to the setback of an early goal, which plenty in the ground, myself included, thought was offside. Looking back at the highlights, it wasn't. There was 2 people on the line playing Paddy Madden on. I think it was Bradley Garmston and Mark Byrne. But the Gills reacted really well. We were really good after that. Especially second half. I thought we bossed it from first whistle to last. And in fairness, I think 2-1 flattered Fleetwood. I know Uwe Rosler's come out and had a couple of things to say about the penalty. He said he thought it was soft, but I think we've created plenty of chances. We've had the one-on-one from Tom Eaves that their keeper saved, one from Lee Martin that he come out and smothered that was going in. Luke O'Neill had a cross-come shot that looked to be heading in the corner right in front of me. That was headed off the line. There was another corner that seemed to be going directly in that the keeper managed to shovel over the crossbar. In the first half, we had Josh Parker got in behind and smashed one over. Callum Riley's drive from 20 yards was saved. So we created plenty, and second half it resembled the Alamo for a period. We said on our Matchday Live, I think it was Boz quoted and said that there was a period in about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, where we could have scored 3 times. So I don't think the result was unjust. I don't think Fleetwood deserved anything based on our second half performance. And regarding the penalty and Uwe Rosler's comments, I don't think it was the wrong decision from Brett Huxtable. I mean, he made plenty. We've spoken about their goal scorer, Paddy Madden. I'm not even sure he should have been on the pitch for most of the first half after a tackle that, well, for me it looked like borderline assault. It studs up into Luke O'Neill's midriff, and according to Mr Huxtable, who we remember very fondly, not from the Valley last season, he deemed it to be just a throw-in. So. But no, enough about the ref, enough about Uwe Rosler. Yeah, in terms of us, it was very, very good. Another well-earned 3 points that just keeps us moving on up the table. Yeah, and next up, let's have a look at candidates for man of the match, because I think there were plenty this weekend. Myself and Boz and Stocky said after the game, walking back to the car, that we thought it was one of the hardest games to pick a man of the match for. There was plenty of candidates. I mean, I've jotted a few down this morning. Thomas Holy was very, very good again. He was really unlucky with their opening goal. Made a world-class save. And unfortunately, we couldn't block the goal in the follow-up that snuck in the far corner. And then shortly after that, when Fleetwood were threatening to get on top briefly, he's tipped another one round the post. Whether it was going in, I'm not sure, but he didn't know that at the time. And then in the second half, just after we'd equalised, he sort of got himself in the wrong position, but then managed to double back and flick a header over the bar, which would have put Fleetwood back in front, and then obviously the game could have ended very differently. So credit to Thomas Holy. There was people in the crowd that were berating him and shouting at him because a couple of his kicks went off, but idiotic in my mind, people that are shouting at him because he's misplaced a goal kick. It's ridiculous considering the season he's had. Anyway, next up, Callum Riley. We spoke on Thursday, myself and Boz, in the build-up to this game, and said that we hadn't been to Scunthorpe and we didn't see it, but all the reports were that he was really good. Super impressed on Saturday. He just got stronger and stronger and stronger as the game went on. Broke up play when he needed to. He can pick a pass. He's clever in possession. And it was him that won us the penalty. His first initial cross-come shot was blocked, and he was alert enough to go and get the rebound, got himself between the defender and the ball, and won us the penalty that eventually won us the 3 points. So yeah, another contender and a really bright start to his Gills career, and let's hope that continues for the rest of the campaign. Jake Hessenthaler, the other side of that diamond, I thought was really, really good. Now playing on his more natural side. Decent enough in possession, he was tidy with it, worked really hard off the ball. Another really good display from Jake Hessenthaler. And he's another one for me that gets a little bit of undue criticism, and it's great to see him playing well in a good side. So I hope that continues as well. Next was Lee Martin, proper captain's performance for me. Just looking at the Football League paper, the report done by Mr. Nick Bull. I'm sure we're all familiar with him. He only gave Lee Martin a 5, which I think is very harsh, Nick, but you obviously have your reasons, and that's why we love watching this game, because we see things differently. But I thought Lee Martin was really good. He was at the heart of some of our really good work. Could have grabbed a goal at 1-1, was very unlucky. Keeper made a good save. Proper captain's performance for me. And the last one was Tom Eaves. What do we have to say? Rainham End, 2 goals, match winner again, up to 12 league goals for the season, I believe, 13 in all competitions. But sponsors man of the match did not go to any of them. It went to our marauding right back Luke O'Neill. So I want to have a little chat about him in more detail, because he has been first class all season. So yeah, let's have a little look at this man and his performances this season. As you can see from the graphic, he's spoken very highly of the current regime. Says that he's loving playing under Steve Lovell. Says obviously the game's all about confidence at the moment. He's playing with that, and that's a lot to do with the gaffer. Long may that continue, he has said. But yeah, he's been really, really, really good for me. Mr. Consistent, rarely has a bad game. I think you could probably count the number of bad performances he's put in on 2 fingers. I can only remember them early part of the season, and then he picked up a knock. And also he was being played slightly out of position, if you believe what we was told when he signed. We got told he was a right back or a right midfielder, and Adi Pennock employed him on the right hand side of a back 3 to start with. Didn't do anything wrong, thought he was really good. But for me, since he's come back into the side as an out and out right back, he's been absolutely brilliant. 3 goals this season. One against Reading under-21s, cutting in onto his left foot. Did the same sort of thing away at Fleetwood that ended up in the bottom corner before Christmas, and obviously that sumptuous free kick against Carlisle in the FA Cup, and also chipping in with assists as well. 2 notable ones recently from Mr. Eaves. Blackpool away, earned us a point in the last minute, and that really, really good delivery for Tom Eaves' goal at the Valley. First game of this year, absolutely delicious. I think if a Premier League right back had played that, someone like Carl Walker, Sky Sports would be waxing lyrical about it for hours. Yeah, been really good. Long may it continue. Been super impressed with Luke O'Neill. Yeah, not a lot else to talk about today. Another really positive one, becoming a habit. It's good to see. Nice to do it after the doldrums that we've had for the last 18 months or so. Just one question for you Gills fans before I start wrapping this up. Transfer window shuts in 2 days. If you could make one more signing, in what position and what player would that be? Let us know by commenting on the Twitter post down below in this video, or on the Facebook page. But yeah, another really positive weekend. Nothing to moan about, which is great. I am off to get more paracetamol for this shoulder. And until next time, up the Gills.